Olivia Mason stood at the command center of the warship Vengeance and watched as Earth burned below her. The massive view screen showed scenes that would haunt her forever. Cities turned to ash. Oceans, boiling, continents cracking. The Vraxian ships had appeared without warning 3 days ago. Their weapons were unlike anything humans had ever seen. No one had time to prepare. No one had time to evacuate. The first blast took out most of North America. The second eliminated Europe. The attacks continued until most of the planet was in flames. Olivia gripped the edge of the console until her knuckles turned white. The Vengeance had been in lunar orbit, testing its new engines when the attack began. They watched helplessly as billions died. The ship shook as a nearby explosion rocked it. Susan Kelly, the weapons officer, looked up from her station. Her face was pale but determined. The Vraxian scout ship just took out Lunar Base Alpha, she reported. They know we are here. How long until the quantum drive is ready? Olivia asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Tanya Wells, the chief engineer, replied through the comm system. 10 minutes, Commander. But I must warn you, it has never been tested for a jump of this magnitude. We could end up anywhere, or nowhere at all, Olivia thought, but kept it to herself. They had no choice. The Vengeance was an experimental ship with Earth's most advanced technology. But even with its weapons, it was no match for the Vraxian armada. She made her decision. Get everyone on board, Olivia ordered. We jump in 10 minutes, Beth Martinez, the communications officer, looked up in shock. Commander, there are still survivors on the lunar bases. We can't just leave them. Olivia closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the weight of command crushing her. We can't save them all, she said quietly. Send the evacuation order to all bases. Any shuttles that reach us in 10 minutes can board. Everyone else. She did not finish the sentence. They all knew what it meant. The next 10 minutes were chaos. Alarms blared as crew members rushed to secure stations. Evacuation shuttles docked frantically. Some made it. Some did not. A Vraxian destroyer had noticed them and was moving into position. Lisa Patel at the tactical station reported the enemy ship closing in. They will be in weapons range in 2 minutes. We don't have 2 minutes, Tanya said through the comm. Her voice was strained. They detected our power buildup. They know what we are doing. Olivia looked around at her crew. Most of them had family on Earth. Family that was now gone. Their faces showed grief, anger, determination. She felt the same. The Vraxians had taken everything from them, but they would not take this ship. This last piece of humanity. This is Commander Olivia Mason of the Earth Warship. Vengeance, she announced, her voice echoing through all decks. We are about to make an emergency quantum jump, destination unknown. Our mission is now clear. We survive, we rebuild. And one day we return to make the Vraxians pay for what they did to our home. A cheer went up from the crew. Their faces transformed from despair to resolve. They had a purpose now. The ship shuddered as the first enemy shots grazed their shields. Time to quantum drive. Olivia asked. 20 seconds, Tanya replied. The tactical display showed 3 more Vraxian ships joining the first. They were surrounded. 10 seconds. The shields began to fail under concentrated fire. 5 seconds. Olivia looked one last time at the burning Earth on the view screen. A tear slid down her cheek. The planet that had given birth to humanity was dying. But as long as the Vengeance survived, humanity survived. Quantum jump. Now, she ordered. The universe seemed to fold around them. Stars stretched into lines of light. Reality twisted. The ship groaned as forces beyond understanding pulled at its structure. And then silence. The view screens showed unfamiliar stars. No planets, no Vraxians. Just the endless void. We made it. Tanya said, her voice filled with disbelief. The quantum drive worked. Where are we? Beth asked, staring at the navigation console. Lisa checked the star charts. Unknown space, she said after a moment. We are beyond mapped territory. Olivia nodded slowly. They were alive. They were free. And they had Earth's most advanced warship. Run a complete system check, she ordered, and begin scanning for any habitable planets or stations. We need supplies and prepare a full inventory of our weapons. The crew moved with new purpose. Each member knew what the Vengeance had become. It was no longer just a ship. It was the last hope of humanity, the last memory of Earth, and it would become something more. It would become vengeance itself. The Vraxians believed they had destroyed humanity. But they had made a terrible mistake. They had left survivors. And these survivors now had only one mission: to hunt down those who had destroyed their world. As Olivia looked at the unfamiliar stars, she made a silent promise: Earth would be remembered. And the Vraxians would learn to fear the humans they had failed to exterminate. The hunt had begun. 5 years passed since the Vengeance escaped Earth. The ship had changed. Many parts of it looked nothing like the human vessel that fled the burning homeworld. Kate Sullivan, the chief engineer, had modified almost every system using alien technology. They salvaged from abandoned outposts and defeated enemy ships. The Vengeance was no longer just a warship. It had become a home to the 327 survivors, a community in space, a tribe bound by shared loss and burning desire for justice. Olivia walked through the hydroponics bay where Amy Watson tended to plants from a dozen worlds. None were from Earth. Earth plants existed only in seed banks, now carefully preserved for the day they might find a new home. But these alien plants provided food, medicine, and the comfort of growing things. The crew has adapted well, Amy said, noticing Olivia. The children especially. They don't remember Earth as clearly now. Olivia nodded sadly. 23 children had been born aboard the Vengeance. New humans who had never felt grass beneath their feet or rain on their faces. They knew only stars and steel. The ship intercom activated Commander Mason to the bridge. Priority alert from our scouts. Diane Rivera, the tactical officer, announced. Olivia hurried to the bridge. The Vengeance had changed inside and out, but the command center remained familiar. It was her domain. The place where she guided humanity's revenge. Diane stood at the tactical station, her eyes fixed on the display. What do we have? She asked. A Vraxian supply convoy, Diane replied, moving aside to let Olivia see 6 cargo ships, minimal escort. They are heading toward the mining colony at Proxima. Centauri. Olivia studied the projected course. This was what they had waited for. The Vengeance had spent years building its strength, learning and adapting. Now they were ready to strike. Heather Montgomery, the science officer, joined them. Her modifications to the sensors allowed them to track Vraxian ships without being detected. The convoy is carrying processed ore and manufactured components, she said, likely for their expansion efforts in this sector, and Proxima Centauri. Olivia said softly, that used to be our closest stellar neighbor. Our first step into space. Now they mine it like they own it. The bridge crew fell silent. They all knew the significance. This was not just any target, this was symbolic. The Vraxians had taken Earth's cosmic backyard. Activate the shadow drive, Olivia ordered. Tell all crew to prepare for combat. We strike in 6 hours. The shadow drive was Kate Sullivan's greatest achievement. A stealth system that bent light and other energies around the ship, making it nearly invisible to sensors. The Vraxians would never see them coming. As the Vengeance moved into position, Olivia addressed the crew from the bridge. This is our most significant operation yet, she said. 5 years we have watched and waited. 5 years we have prepared. Today, we strike our first major blow against those who destroyed our world. The Vraxians believe they wiped us out. They think themselves safe. They are wrong. The crew cheered. The sound echoed through the ship. From engineering to medical, from hydroponics to weapons control, survivors united in purpose. Amber Collins, at communications, reported all stations ready. The weapons had been modified too, improved with technology from a dozen alien races, some stolen, some bartered for, with other species, who also feared the Vraxians. The convoy appeared on the view screen. 6 massive ships carrying the wealth of what once was humanity's neighboring star. Target the escort ships first, Olivia ordered. Then disable the engines of the cargo vessels. I want prisoners. I want information. The Vengeance decloaked right in the middle of the convoy. Its weapons fired with deadly precision. The escort ships exploded before they could even raise alarms. The cargo ships tried to scatter, but precise shots disabled their engines. Boarding parties led by Natalie Winters launched immediately. Their armor was a mix of human and alien technology, their weapons deadly and efficient. The resistance was minimal. The Vraxians had grown complacent. They never expected to be hunted. Hours later, Olivia stood in the interrogation room, facing a Vraxian commander. The alien was tall with blue-scaled skin and 4 arms. Its eyes glowed with hatred. "Why did you attack Earth?" Olivia asked. The question that had haunted her for 5 years. Why destroy an entire planet? The Vraxian made a sound that might have been laughter. "Primitive species," it said in a translator voice. "Earth was marked for cleansing long ago. You were building dangerous technologies, expanding too quickly." But there was something else. Olivia sensed. Something the alien wasn't saying. Heather entered the room carrying a data tablet. "We found something in their navigation system," she said. "These cargo ships have made this run many times, but they also made dozens of trips to Earth after the attack. They were looking for something." The Vraxian commander flinched visibly at her words. A reaction that confirmed Heather's theory. "What were you looking for?" Olivia demanded. "Were there more survivors?" "Not survivors," the alien said. "Something much older. Something buried beneath your oceans. Something that belonged to us long before your species learned to make fire." Olivia exchanged looks with Heather. This was new information. This was a reason. This was a lead. "The intelligence we gathered from the convoy changed everything," Olivia told her senior staff later. "The Vraxians didn't just attack us randomly. They wanted something on Earth, something important enough to destroy a planet for, and they didn't find it," Diane said, studying the recovered data. "They kept searching the ruins. But whatever it was, they never located it, which means it might still be there," Kate said. "And if it's important to them, it might be useful to us." Olivia nodded slowly. For the first time in 5 years, they had more than just revenge. They had a mystery to solve. A purpose beyond survival and retaliation. The captured convoy was stripped of everything valuable. The cargo redistributed to the Vengeance and its small fleet of support ships. The prisoners placed in secure holding, the data analyzed and reanalyzed, and deep in space the Vengeance continued its hunt. But now it hunted for answers as well as revenge. What was hidden on Earth? What power could be worth destroying a world to possess? And most importantly, could it help the last humans take back the stars that were once theirs? Olivia looked out at the stars from the observation deck. Each point of light might hide Vraxian ships, Vraxian worlds. She would find them all. Eventually. But first they would solve this mystery. They would discover what the aliens had been searching for, and they would use it to ensure humanity survived. The Vengeance drifted silently near the dying star. Its shadow drive made it invisible to the Vraxian research station orbiting nearby. The station glowed with eerie purple light against the red giant star behind it. "This is it," Olivia said, studying the tactical display. "This facility contains the answers we seek." 2 months had passed since they captured the convoy at Proxima Centauri. 2 months of following leads, interrogating prisoners, and decoding Vraxian data. They had learned the research. Station held information about the mysterious artifact the aliens had sought on Earth. Kate Sullivan checked the readings on her console. "The radiation from that star will give us cover, but it also means we have limited time before our shields fail. Even with our improvements, we go in fast." Then Olivia decided Amber Collins prepare the infiltration team. Amber nodded. She had become more than just a communications specialist over the years. She now led the infiltration teams. Her knowledge of Vraxian systems and security was unmatched among the crew. "The team will be ready in 20 minutes, she reported. 6 of us, including Heather, for data retrieval. The plan was simple and dangerous. Send a small team to infiltrate the station, download all research, data plant explosives, then escape before the Vraxians knew what happened. The Vengeance would remain cloaked, providing emergency extraction if needed. Olivia watched the team depart in a modified shuttle. Its hull had been redesigned to mimic Vraxian transport ships. Its signal code stolen from previous encounters. Good hunting, she whispered as the shuttle disappeared toward the station. The waiting was always the hardest part. Olivia paced the bridge, checking the time. Every minute felt like an hour. The lives of her crew were at stake, not just the infiltration team, but everyone aboard the Vengeance. If they failed here, if they were discovered, the hunt would end. Susan Kelly at Weapons kept her fingers hovering over the controls, ready to provide covering fire if needed. Diane Rivera monitored all communication channels for any sign that the team had been detected. 45 minutes passed. Then an hour. The shuttle should be returning now, Olivia said, checking the chrono again, as if, summoned by her words, the sensors detected movement from the station. The shuttle was returning, but it was coming in fast. Too fast, incoming transmission. Diane announced, "Open channel." Olivia ordered. Amber's voice filled the bridge. "We got the data, but they spotted us on the way out. We have wounded, and they're on our tail." Olivia made a split-second decision. Diane, drop the cloak. Target their pursuit craft. Susan, prepare main weapons. The Vengeance shimmered into visibility, its black hull absorbing the red light of the dying star. Its weapons ports opened like the maw of a predator. The Vraxian security ships following the shuttle hesitated, shocked by the sudden appearance of the massive warship. The Vengeance fired. Streams of energy lashed, out-vaporizing the lead pursuer. The others scattered, firing wildly. "Get that shuttle aboard," Olivia ordered, "then target the station." The shuttle limped into the landing bay, trailing debris. The Vengeance turned its weapons toward the research station before Olivia could give the order to fire. The station exploded. Amber had completed her mission. The explosives detonated, tearing the facility apart, set course away from the system. "Maximum speed," Olivia commanded. The Vengeance vanished into the darkness, leaving only wreckage behind. The Vraxians would know someone had attacked them, but they would not know who or why. In the medical bay, Olivia found Amber being treated for plasma burns. Her team had suffered injuries, but all had survived. "Did you get what we needed?" Olivia asked. Amber smiled despite her pain. "Everything, their entire research database. I had to fight our way out, but it was worth it. Heather is decrypting it." Now Olivia squeezed her shoulder gently. "Rest now. You did well in the science lab." Heather Montgomery worked frantically at her console, her eyes wide with excitement as data scrolled across multiple screens. "This is incredible," she said, as Olivia entered all their research, their search patterns. The artifact they were looking for on Earth, it's not a weapon, Olivia. It's technology from a civilization that predates both humans and Vraxians. Something they call the Forerunners. Olivia leaned closer, studying the alien symbols and diagrams. "What does it do?" Heather shook her head, still working on that part. "But whatever it is, the Vraxians have been searching for similar artifacts across thousands of worlds for centuries. Earth was just one location. But the artifact there was special. Somehow different. The data showed excavation sites across Earth, all in deep ocean trenches. The Vraxians had been systematically searching the ocean floor even after they destroyed the surface. They thought they destroyed it, along with our planet." Heather continued. "But these readings suggest it went dormant instead of being destroyed. It might still be there waiting. Could we use it against them?" Olivia asked the question that mattered most to her. Could this artifact help them avenge Earth? "I don't know yet," Heather admitted. "But there's something else you need to see." She pulled up another file showing detailed scans of human DNA next to it, Vraxian DNA. The patterns were surprisingly similar, with key sections highlighted. "They've been studying us, comparing our genetics with theirs." Heather explained. "There's a section here about evolutionary patterns. They seem concerned about something." Before Heather could elaborate, the intercom activated. Commander Mason to Medical Bay, urgent. Natalie Winters called. Her voice was tense. Olivia hurried to medical. Natalie, the ship physician, met her at the door, her face serious. "We need to talk about the crew," she said quietly. "I've been monitoring changes in our physiology for years. Small things at first, increased reaction time, improved healing resistance to radiation. But it's accelerating. What are you saying?" Olivia asked. "The crew is changing," Natalie explained. "Our DNA is mutating. Not in a harmful way. More like adaptation." She pulled up medical scans of crew members showing subtle changes at the cellular level. Some crew show more advanced changes. Kate Sullivan, who works directly with the quantum drive, has developed enhanced reflexes. Almost precognitive, Olivia thought about the information Heather had found in the Vraxian database. The comparisons of human and Vraxian DNA. The concern in their research notes, could the quantum drive be causing this? She asked. Natalie nodded. "It's the most likely explanation. Prolonged exposure to quantum fields. We designed the drive but never fully understood its effects on living tissue." A strange realization dawned on Olivia. The vengeance had not just carried humanity from Earth. It was changing humanity, making them stronger, faster, adaptable, evolving them to survive in the harshest environments against impossible odds against the Vraxians. She needed to bring her officers together. They had new information about the artifact on Earth, the Vraxians' fears about human potential, and now evidence that the quantum drive was accelerating human evolution. As she called for a meeting of senior staff, the ship's long-range sensors activated. A massive energy signature appeared at the edge of the system, a Vraxian battle fleet larger than any they had encountered, and it was heading toward Earth. The hunt was taking an unexpected turn. They were no longer just the hunters. They were becoming something more. Something the Vraxians feared. And now they needed to race their enemy back to the ruins of their homeworld, to find what had been hidden beneath the oceans of Earth before the Vraxians could destroy it completely. The journey back to Earth was dangerous. The Vengeance had to navigate through Vraxian-controlled space, avoiding patrols and checkpoints. They used every trick Kate Sullivan had developed over the years. The shadow drive, sensor jamming, false identification, signals. Anything to remain undetected. Olivia spent most of her time in the strategy room with her senior officers. The stolen Vraxian data had revealed much, but raised even more questions. According to their research, the artifact is located in what used to be the Mariana Trench, Heather explained, pointing to a map of Earth. The deepest part of our oceans. Now a crystalline crater, Natalie added. The Vraxian bombardment boiled away most of the oceans. The trench is exposed. Diane studied the tactical projections. The Vraxian fleet will reach Earth in 3 days. They have a head start and faster ships. We cannot beat them there. We don't need to beat them, Olivia said. We just need to be ready when they arrive. Susan looked up from weapons calculations. They will have hundreds of ships, we have one. One very special ship, Olivia corrected with a small smile. And we have something they don't expect. Survivors. As the Vengeance approached the Sol system, they detected something unexpected. Communications. Signals coming from Mars and the asteroid belt. Human signals. Amber nearly cried when she decoded the first message. It was a standard navigation beacon, warning ships away from a debris field. But it was in English. It was human. Olivia ordered a careful approach. They had been gone for 7 years. The survivors might not trust an approaching ship, even one of Earth design. They established contact carefully using old Earth military protocols. At first there was suspicion, but when the Mars colony leaders learned the Vengeance was commanded by Olivia Mason, suspicion turned to joy. Commander Mason. We thought the Vengeance was destroyed, a woman named Michelle Carter said, over the comm. Her voice crackled with emotion. You are legendary among the survivors. Olivia was stunned to learn over 20,000 humans had survived in various colonies throughout the solar system. Some had been off-planet during the attack. Others had escaped in ships as the Vraxians focused their destruction on Earth itself. They had built hidden settlements on Mars, the moons of Jupiter, the asteroid belt, and most surprisingly, Earth itself. There are resistance fighters on Earth. Michelle explained, they have been waging guerrilla warfare against Vraxian expeditionary forces for years. The aliens keep sending teams to search for something. The artifact, Olivia said. Michelle nodded. We figured it was something important. The Resistance has been sabotaging their excavations. But now, a massive Vraxian fleet is approaching. We need your help. Olivia told her everything. The quantum drive, the genetic changes, the artifact, the forerunners. In turn, Michelle shared information about the Resistance fighters on Earth, led by a woman named Samantha Foster. They had united the scattered survivors into an effective fighting force. Together they formulated a plan. The Mars colonies had built small fighters fast and agile. The asteroid settlements had mining ships converted to carry explosives. The Jupiter moons had communication jammers. It would not be enough against a Vraxian battle fleet, but it might create a distraction long enough for a team from the Vengeance to reach the artifact. Olivia selected her team carefully. Herself, Heather Montgomery for scientific analysis, Kate Sullivan for technical expertise, and Natalie Winters in case the genetic changes were relevant. They would take a modified shuttle to Earth while the Vengeance led the space battle. Susan Kelly would command the Vengeance. In her absence, Diane Rivera would coordinate with the colony forces. Amber Collins would maintain communications between all groups as final preparations were made. Olivia toured her ship, touching the walls that had been home for 7 years. The crew watched her pass, their faces showing determination and hope. The children born aboard sang a song they had created about Earth, a planet they had never seen, but heard stories about. Olivia found Kate making final adjustments to the shuttle. You think we can win? Kate asked without looking up. Her hands moved with incredible speed, adjusting components almost too fast to follow. A side effect of her accelerated evolution. Olivia considered the question. Win might not be the right word. She finally said survive. Yes, that is what humans do. We survive. And then we rebuild. Kate smiled. That sounds like winning to me. The Vengeance detected the Vraxian fleet approaching Earth. It was massive, over 200 ships surrounding a central command vessel nearly twice the size of any they had seen before. Michelle Carter joined them on the bridge of the Vengeance, bringing leaders from the colonies. The Resistance on Earth confirmed they were ready. This will be the largest space battle humans have fought since the attack, Olivia told them. But we have surprise on our side. The Vraxians think humanity is defeated. They do not expect resistance. They certainly do not expect the Vengeance. The human forces took position, hiding among debris, fields, and behind moons. The Vengeance itself waited behind Phobos, one of Mars' moons, its shadow drive active. The Vraxian fleet entered Earth orbit, their ships spreading out to create a protective perimeter around the planet. Shuttles launched toward the surface, toward the location of the artifact. Now Olivia ordered. The battle began. The colony fighters attacked from multiple vectors, small, nimble craft darting between the massive Vraxian ships. Mining vessels detonated explosives, creating clouds of debris that confused Vraxian sensors. Communication jammers activated, disrupting their coordination. And in the chaos, the Vengeance appeared. Its weapons had been enhanced with technology from a dozen alien races. Its hull strengthened, its engines modified. It struck hard and fast, disabling 3 Vraxian cruisers before they could respond. Susan Kelly commanded with cool efficiency, targeting weapons and engines, avoiding destruction when possible. They needed the Vraxians in disarray, not destroyed. The goal was distraction, not victory. As the space battle raged, Olivia and her team descended toward Earth. The shuttle cloaked with the same technology as the Vengeance, their approach masked by the chaos above. Earth came into view through the shuttle. Windows. A planet transformed. The blue marble was now a scarred brown sphere. Continents shattered, oceans mostly gone, clouds of dust still swirling in the upper atmosphere. Olivia felt tears in her eyes at the sight of her ruined homeworld. But as, they descended, she saw something unexpected. Green patches, life returning. The planet was healing slowly. It was not dead, just changed, like humanity itself. They landed near the crystalline crater that had once been the Mariana Trench. The ground glowed. With an eerie blue light, Heather took readings. "This whole area is charged with energy," she reported. "Unlike anything I've ever seen." A group of figures approached from a hidden bunker. They wore mismatched armor and carried salvaged weapons. Humans, the Earth Resistance. Their leader stepped forward, a tall woman with burn scars across her face. "Commander Mason," she said with a salute. Samantha Foster. "Welcome back to Earth. We have limited time. The Vraxians have landed on the other side of the crater." Samantha led them through tunnels, explaining how the Resistance had survived living underground, scavenging Vraxian technology, fighting when necessary, hiding when prudent. The tunnels opened into a massive cavern, and there it was, the artifact, a spherical structure about 10 meters across floating above a pedestal of crystal. It pulsed with blue energy. "They've been trying to reach it for years," Samantha explained. "But there seems to be some kind of barrier. Only certain people can approach it. Their scientists have tried and failed." Natalie scanned the energy field. "It's resonating on a quantum frequency," she said. "Strangely similar to our drive." Olivia stepped toward the artifact. The barrier shimmered but allowed her to pass. The artifact responded to her presence. The pulsing increased. It projected images into the air. Star maps, genetic sequences, mathematical equations. Heather gasped. "It's a key," she said. Understanding dawning on her face. Not a weapon, a key to understanding. As Olivia reached out and touched the artifact, the full truth was revealed. The history of both humans and Vraxians. They were created by the same ancient race, the Forerunners. Part of an experiment. Humans were designed to be adaptable. Vraxians to be stable, both with potential to evolve in different ways. And the quantum drive had accelerated that evolution in the humans aboard the Vengeance. The attack on Earth had not been ordered by the entire Vraxian civilization, but by a faction of zealots who discovered this truth and feared what humans might become. They sought to eliminate their flawed siblings. As this revelation spread through Olivia's mind, the artifact sent a signal that reached every Vraxian in the fleet above. A signal that revealed the truth to them all. In orbit, the battle had paused. The Vraxian ships stopped firing. Some turned against others. Civil war erupted among their ranks as the moderates fought against the zealot faction. Susan Kelly, commanding the Vengeance, saw her opportunity. She targeted the zealot flagship, disabled its engines and weapon systems, and opened a channel. "This is the Earth warship Vengeance," she announced. "We have activated the artifact. We know the truth, and we offer you a choice. Surrender, or be destroyed." The battle turned. The moderate Vraxians joined forces with the human fleet against their own zealot faction, and on Earth, Olivia Mason stood before the artifact, understanding humanity's true place in the cosmos. Not just survivors, not just hunters, but part of something greater. An ancient legacy. The war was not over. But for the first time in 7 years, there was more than just vengeance. There was hope. 1 year after the battle at Earth, humanity was rebuilding. The alliance with the moderate Vraxians had held. The zealot faction had been defeated. Its leaders captured its ships, confiscated. But trust came slowly between species that had been enemies. Olivia stood on the observation deck of the Vengeance, watching as construction ships orbited Earth. The planet was still scarred, still healing. But humans had returned to the surface, building new cities, replanting forests, reclaiming their homeworld. The door opened behind her. Michelle Carter entered, her expression serious. "We just received word from the diplomatic team. The Vraxian High Council has approved the treaty." It had been a difficult year of negotiations. The Vraxians had offered technology and resources to help rebuild Earth. The humans had demanded justice for the billions lost. No agreement could bring back the dead. But the treaty established boundaries, reparations, a fragile peace, and something more. Knowledge shared about the Forerunners, the ancient race that had created both species as part of their grand experiment before disappearing from the galaxy. Olivia nodded. "It's a start," she said. The beginning of a new chapter. Not everyone agreed with the peace. Some humans wanted complete revenge. The destruction of all Vraxians. Some Vraxians still believed humans were dangerous, unpredictable. Some on both sides refused to acknowledge their common origins. But the evidence was undeniable. The artifact had revealed truth that could not be ignored. Both species had been shaped by the same creators. Both had potential to evolve in unique ways. Both had strengths. The other lacked. Kate Sullivan joined them on the deck. Her movements fluid, almost supernatural. Another side effect of the quantum evolution that had changed the crew of the Vengeance. "The final preparations are complete," she reported. "The new drives are installed. The fleet is ready." The fleet 5 ships built using combined human and Vraxian technology, each with modified quantum drives, each with a crew of both species working together, not in perfect harmony, not without tension, but with common purpose. Samantha Foster arrived next. The resistance leader had become a key figure in the Earth reconstruction effort. Her knowledge of survival in the harsh post-attack environment had proven invaluable. "The colonies are sending their representatives," she said. "The ceremony starts in 1 hour. The ceremony that would launch humanity's new mission. Not just rebuilding, not just coexistence with the Vraxians, but exploration." The Forerunner artifact had revealed star maps, locations of other installations, other ancient sites, other lost technologies, and possibly other experiments. Heather Montgomery, now head of the Joint Xenoarchaeology team, had spent months analyzing the data. "We barely understand a fraction of what the artifact contains," she often said. "But what we do know points to something incredible." The Forerunners were creating something, a network of species, each with unique traits, each with potential to evolve in specific ways, each with a role to play in something greater. The question was, what that greater purpose might be, and whether the Forerunners still existed somewhere in the darkness. Between Stars, Natalie Winters had studied the genetic changes in the Vengeance crew, the quantum evolution as it was now called. These changes had stabilized, but not reversed. The affected humans had developed abilities beyond normal parameters, enhanced reflexes, accelerated healing, limited precognition in some cases, and something more difficult to quantify: a connection to the quantum field itself. Was this what the Forerunners intended? Olivia wondered, was this why the Zealots had feared humanity? The potential to change, to adapt, to become something new. Amber Collins arrived with the final reports. "The communication channels are open," she announced. "Earth-Mars, the Jupiter colonies, the asteroid settlements, and the Vraxian homeworld. They will all witness the launch." Susan Kelly and Diane Rivera completed the gathering. The original senior staff of the Vengeance, all changed by their years in exile, all shaped by loss and survival, and finally hope. The launch ceremony was held in orbit above Earth, a symbol of humanity reaching for the stars again. The 5 ships of the new fleet arranged in formation, the Vengeance at their center, its black hull now bearing the symbols of both human and Vraxian script. Its mission changed from hunter to explorer. Olivia addressed the assembled crews and the billions watching from planets and stations throughout the solar system. "7 years ago, we fled a burning Earth aboard this ship," she said. "The last warship of humanity. We became hunters seeking vengeance for our lost world. We found more than we expected. We discovered truth about our origins, our potential, our place in the cosmos." She paused, looking at the faces before her. Human and Vraxian side by side. Not friends, not yet, but no longer enemies. "The Forerunners created our species for a purpose," she continued. "That purpose remains unclear, but they left clues throughout the galaxy. Today we begin our search. Not for vengeance, not for conquest, but for understanding." The 5 ships activated, their engines plasma glowing against the blackness of space. "We go forth as guardians," Olivia continued. As explorers, as inheritors of two legacies, the legacy of Earth and the legacy of the Forerunners, we carry with us the memory of those lost, the hope of those who survived, and the potential of what we might become. The Vengeance led the fleet away from Earth. The quantum drive's engaged reality folded, and the ships vanished into the depths of space aboard the Vengeance. Olivia took her place, in the command chair, her senior officers at their stations. The view screen showed stars streaking past as they traveled faster than light. Heather monitored the artifact's data, guiding their course toward the first Forerunner site. Kate managed the quantum drive, ensuring stable passage. Natalie studied how the journey affected the evolved humans. Amber maintained communication with Earth and the fleet. Susan and Diane kept watch for any threat. They were no longer just survivors, no longer just toy hunters. They had become something more, guardians of two civilizations, explorers of ancient mysteries, seekers of truth. And as the Vengeance led humanity into the unknown, Olivia remembered the burning Earth, the years of exile, the battles fought, the truths discovered. She remembered vengeance, but now she embraced something greater. The stars spread before them endless possibilities. The Forerunner sites waited with ancient secrets. The evolved humans and their Vraxian allies faced an uncertain future, but one thing was certain: they would face it together. The hunters had become explorers. The warship had become a vessel of discovery. And the quest for vengeance had transformed into a search for destiny. The hunt for truth had just begun. The end.